Before we dive into today's massive update, I want to hear from the real fans. Please drop your name and your city in the comments below so I can give you a shout out. And if you love Newcastle United through the highs and the lows, hit that like button right now. We need the Magpies family united for this one, because what Alan Shearer just said is sending shockwaves through St James's Park. Imagine spending nearly £70 million on a player who was supposed to be the future, only to have the greatest striker in our history call him a problem. That is exactly where we are with Nick Woltemade. The German sensation arrived with the weight of the world on his shoulders, and for a moment we all believed. But now the dream is turning into a tactical nightmare for Eddie Howe. Shearer isn't holding back, and neither are the fans. Is this the biggest transfer mistake of the post-takeover era? Let's break down the brutal reality of a £69 million investment that is currently failing to fire. Let's look at the numbers, because they tell a story of two very different players. When Nick Woltemade joined us from Stuttgart last August for that massive £69 million fee, the hype was real. He'd just come off a sensational European Under-21 championship with Germany, scoring 6 goals in just 5 games. He looked like a physical beast with technical grace, and honestly, the start was encouraging. 5 goals in his first 10 appearances had us all thinking we'd found the perfect successor. But then the winter hit, and the goals dried up faster than the Tyneside rain. 1 goal. Just 1 goal in his last 15 games in 2026. Against Manchester City last Saturday, he looked like a ghost on the pitch. He struggled to make any impact, and it's not just the lack of goals that's worrying, it's the body language, it's the lack of fit. When you pay that kind of money, you expect a game changer, not a passenger. Alan Shearer watched that City defeat and saw something that deeply concerned him. A player who simply doesn't belong in this system. Alan Shearer doesn't mince words, especially when it comes to strikers. Speaking to Premier League Productions, Shearer was blunt. Clearly, Woltemade is an issue for Newcastle. Think about that. The money spent, nearly £70 million, and yet Eddie Howe is choosing to play Anthony Gordon, a winger, as a centre-forward instead of his record-breaking striker. That tells you everything you need to know about the lack of trust behind the scenes. Shearer pointed out the tactical mismatch that is killing our momentum. Eddie Howe's success at Newcastle has been built on high energy, relentless pressing and suffocating the opposition. But Shearer says Woltemade hasn't got the legs for it. He hasn't got the energy to do what this team needs. Did you see that second Manchester City goal? Woltemade tried to press, but he was beaten far too easily. He looked heavy, slow and out of sync. Shearer is questioning if he's even a number 10, or just a player lost in a system that demands more than he can give. To understand why we are here, we have to talk about the Alexander Isak situation. It's the elephant in the room. When Isak left for Liverpool, it left a massive hole in our heart and our front line. Newcastle was backed into a corner, forced into the market with everyone knowing we had money to spend. That's how we ended up spending a combined £125 million on Nick Woltemade and Yoane Wissa. Shearer believes we paid far too much because we were desperate. It hasn't worked for Isak at Liverpool, and it certainly isn't working for us right now. We are still trying to figure out how to get the best out of Woltemade, but his stature and pace of play are the polar opposite of what made us successful under Howe. When we were at our best, we went after teams. We didn't give them a second to breathe. With Woltemade on the pitch, that intensity vanishes. It's a tactical puzzle that might not have a solution, and the financial pressure of that price tag is only making the situation more toxic by the day. So, where do we go from here? Eddie Howe is in a corner. He has a £70 million asset sitting on the bench or struggling on the wing, while a natural winger plays his position. It's a mess. Alan Shearer is right to be worried, because if we can't integrate Woltemade, we've essentially wasted a fortune that could have been used to solidify the squad elsewhere. Is he a winger? Is he a striker? Or is he just a player who isn't suited for the Premier League intensity? The fans are losing patience, and the stats don't lie. 1 goal in 15 games is relegation-level form for a striker at a club with Champions League ambitions. We need a solution, and we need it now. But I want to hear from you, the Toon Army. Is Shearer being too harsh, or is he on spot? Can Eddie Howe save Woltemade's career at Newcastle, or should we look to move him on in the summer? Don't forget to leave your name and city in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe for more breaking Newcastle news. This is a developing story, and we'll be here for every second of it. Away the lads!